Barcelona are among a number of clubs keeping an eye on Mickey van der Ven's situation at Tottenham. Swansea have confirmed the appointment of Ben Stevens as the club's new sporting director. Frank Lampard is close to agreeing a new deal with Coventry. And RB Leipzig wants significantly more than £86 million for teenage winger. Here are your daily Premier League news headlines. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel and to another edition of the daily Premier League news headlines, where I'll be going through all the latest news, rumours and reports. My name is Lee The Dorset Spur, and if you're watching on YouTube, please like, comment and subscribe to the channel. If you're listening on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. So let's get into it. Here are the latest headlines. Barcelona are among a number of clubs keeping an eye on Mickey van der Ven's situation at Tottenham. Van der Ven, who also has interest from the Premier League, has held initial talks with Spurs over a contract extension, but there is no agreement as yet. The Netherlands international has 2 years left on his deal with Spurs, holding an option to extend for a further 12 months. Spurs want him to stay long term, and head coach Roberto De Zerbi has described him as the best left-sided central defender in the Premier League. Swansea have confirmed the appointment of Ben Stevens as the club's new sporting director. Stevens joined from Crystal Palace and will begin work on July the 10th. Stevens has spent over a decade working at various Premier League clubs and worked under Dougie Freedman. He also filled in for Freedman when he moved to Saudi Arabia. Leeds United are working on free transfers for Julian Brandt and Harry Wilson, Sky Sports News understand. Daniel Farke's side face a lot of competition from top clubs for these two players, but if successful, there is the possibility they could both sign. Club sources have told Sky Sports News they are exploring deals for the pair, who will officially become free agents on July the 1st. Brandt, 30, is leaving Borussia Dortmund after 7 years with the German club. The attacking midfielder, who has 48 caps for Germany, scored 11 goals and provided 4 assists for Dortmund last season. Leeds have long-term interest in Fulham winger Wilson and nearly signed him on deadline day last summer, only for the deal to collapse at the last minute. The 29-year-old stock has risen sharply since then after a career best season in the Premier League. He scored 10 goals and set up 7 more in the competition, mainly playing on the right wing. Aston Villa and Everton and other Premier League clubs that are keen to sign Wilson, Sky Sports News have been reporting, along with other Champions League clubs in Europe. Frank Lampard is close to agreeing a new deal with Coventry, Sky Sports News understands. Lampard is approaching the final year of his contract, but talks are progressing for him to extend his stay. It is understood to be a long-term deal. Emi Martinez's chances of joining Juventus are fading because of the cost of a potential deal with Aston Villa, according to Sky in Italy. The Serie A side made Martinez their top goalkeeping target once it became clear Alisson was staying at Liverpool, but they are now turning to other options. Juve have been considering Tottenham's Vicario, although they do not want to spend more than £13 million, as in €15 million, for the Italy international. If the price is too high, Juventus could look to sign Napoli's Alex Meret. He worked under Juve head coach Spalletti at Napoli when they won the Serie A title. Spurs signed Vicario from Italian side Empoli for £17.2 million in the summer of 2023. The 29-year-old has 2 years left on his contract. Napoli are also keen on Vicario, but need to make sales in the goalkeeper department before they can bring in the Spurs man. If Juventus decide on to sign Meret, it would open the door for Napoli to make a move for Vicario. RB Leipzig want significantly more than £86 million that Liverpool have indicated they are prepared to pay for teenage winger Diamande, according to Sky in Germany. Leipzig would like to keep the 19-year-old for another season and have plans to offer him a new contract with a pay rise. He is currently earning around £33,000 a week plus bonuses. Liverpool are aware of the widespread interest in the Ivory Coast winger, who impressed in the Nations World Cup opener as they beat Ecuador 1-0. PSG are among the most serious of Liverpool's competition for Diamande, but Sky in Germany reports that there has been no offer from the back-to-back European champions for the winger. Manchester City and Manchester United and Bayern Munich are the other clubs that have been closely monitoring his progress. The £86 million fee Liverpool are ready to pay at this stage would dwarf the Premier League's record transfer for a teenager, surpassing the £58.9 million Manchester United agreed to sign Lane Yoro from Lille in the summer of 2024. There's been a remarkable rise for Diamande, who was signed by Leipzig from Leganese last summer for £17.3 million, €20 million. He has started just half a dozen games for the Spanish side. 2 years after the Ivorian was training at Athletic Academy in Florida, and now he finds himself as one of the most in-demand footballers in Europe. So, my thoughts on some of these stories. Well, obviously, Mickey van der Ven's a standout one for me as a Tottenham fan, with Barcelona putting their interest in. Obviously, lots of Dutch players do go to Spain and do go to Barcelona. Has a rich history of top Dutch players, but he has 2 years left on his contract and he has a further 12 months with an option. So for me, I think it's unlikely that Spurs would be letting him go at this stage. They may want to give him a better contract. They may want to give him a longer contract. But at this point, I think Tottenham still hold all the cards. So I don't see that as a likely transfer going forward, not unless there is significant money, and I'm talking significant money, for him to be able to go. So I'm not seeing that as something that's going to happen soon. Frank Lampard is close to agreeing a new deal with Coventry. Well, I think that's a really good idea for Coventry, to be honest with you, because if they come into the Premier League and struggle, then the likelihood for Lampard is that at some point during the year he could end up losing his job, unless they really want to stick with him. So I think it would be a really good deal for Lampard to get a contract extension that gives him stability and gives him some decisions about his longer term future. It ties him in as well in case someone else comes poaching. But obviously, from a Coventry point of view, if they're giving him a new deal, then they're going to need to stick by him, regardless of whatever happens in the Premier League. So, yeah, a good deal there, really. I think it makes absolute sense. And £86 million for Jan Diamande, I mean, it's crazy money being bandied about at the moment for a lot of clubs. 19-year-old player. Again, lots of youngsters getting bought up with clubs trying to invest in players for the future, not just for the next season, which a lot of clubs like Liverpool can do. They can buy some talent now and have it on the back burner. So it makes a lot of sense, but £86 million, it is just crazy money, isn't it? But this is football, and who knows what's going to happen? Where does it ever end? But yeah, there you go. So that's it from me, nice and short and sweet. Thanks for watching and listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching on YouTube, please do like, comment and subscribe to the channel. If you're listening on audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. I'm Lee The Dorset Spur. If you'd like to pop over and say hi on my own channel, I'd be more than grateful of having you there. And that would be really, really good. I'll see you on the next one. And as always, up the Spurs.